How's it going, everyone? It looks like the State of Play lineup has been leaked online, and who knows the validity of it? It looks pretty reasonable to me, and it looks something like a very, very mediocre PlayStation event would look like. And, if this is the lineup, and I already know what a lot of you guys are gonna say, you're always hating on everything PlayStation related, you're so pessimistic, you hate on everything, your expectations are too high. Like, whatever. Like, yo, you guys have your own opinions. I remember the days of 2009 to, 2015 where Sony was having major events and quality years filled with big game releases, and there's some cool stuff here for sure in this rundown. A lot of it is third-party stuff, so let's go through the rundown, and then I'll give you guys my ultimate opinion on everything. Astrobot's new game, that'll be cool. And honestly, if this lineup is how they structure the show as well, I like opening State of Play with the new Astrobot game. I think that will be something people actually look forward to. As far as a smaller scale release, I like that. Marvel's Rivals console port announcement, okay, that's fine, whatever. Marvel's Rivals. There you go. God of War Ragnarok PC port, that's awesome. That will certainly infuriate some of the PlayStation audience that hates games coming to PC, and it being a part of the State of Play, I think will upset some people, but hey, that's pretty exciting. God of War Ragnarok was a great game, and it came out 2 years ago at this point. Or it will be 2 years by the time the game comes out, and let's get more people playing these games. I think the game should be day one. That's a conversation we can have at a different time, and most likely that won't be happening, especially with what Hermen Hulst said. But 2-year turnaround seems to be the regular thing going on as far as their PC release. A new Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever. A new Dynasty Warrior. Actually excited about that. I don't think a lot of people are gonna get super excited about that. Hopefully that'll be pretty cool. Alien Rogue Incursion, whatever. Path of Exile 2. Not really a game that the console audience is going to be super into, but that is a notable release. Monster Hunter Wilds will be cool to see a new trailer for that for sure, and I believe Biblicune did note that we're supposed to get a trailer here shortly. Silent Hill 2 Remake, game we already knew about. Phantom Blade Zero, game we already knew about, and I don't know when that's coming out. They're saying 2025. Hopefully we get a release date or something like that, but if it's just another trailer that isn't gonna give us an indication on at least a window, like at that point, why even showcase the game? Like, there's no point. We already got a gameplay trailer last year. A year later, if we're getting another trailer with not even a release window, that's a wash and completely irrelevant. But if it gets a release window, I will be very excited about that. There's rumblings about a demo as well. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but yeah, Phantom Blade Zero is that one game that I'm hoping will turn out like a Stellar Blade or a Black Myth Wukong, that when it was initially revealed, I had labeled it as a game that could potentially be vaporware, because we get these games all the time, you guys. Yes, for every Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong, we'll get titles like Lost Soul Aside that'll never see the light of day. So, that's why, and I look to view games like that from a more pessimistic lens, because you just don't know. Deep Down was announced early on in the PlayStation 4 life, I think at the PlayStation 4 reveal event. Did that game ever come out? People were super excited about it, and again, there's been countless examples like that, and Phantom Blade Zero just totally gives me that vibe. And maybe that's unfair of me to label it like that, but if we get another gameplay trailer, we need to get an indication of, at the very least, a release window. If we're doing gameplay trailers a year ago, and then a year later you're doing another gameplay trailer with no indication on when the game is coming out, what are we doing here at that point? Like, what are we actually doing here? That's a complete waste of time and a waste of a slot, if you ask me. A new game from the Middle East, a new VR game, Until Dawn PC and PlayStation 5, and then Concord wrapping things up. I don't know about you guys. If that is the lineup, I don't know how you can be excited about that. That's a super mediocre lineup, but also it's a lineup that's clearly indicative of Sony's lackluster first party right now. We all knew that Sony's first party was completely washed for 2024. You don't have anything from Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch, and those games, when I even mentioned them, a lot of people pushed back and said, hey, those games are way too big to announce at a State of Play. You saved them for a showcase. Absolutely agreed, but I feel like we should get at least a couple of games people would get excited about. And outside of a new Astrobot, Concord is a live service game that, if that's the big finale, if this is how it's going to be structured, if Concord's the big finale, hopefully that's a game that people can sink their teeth into. It's just PlayStation hasn't been synonymous with live service, so they have to win people over as far as that's concerned. Helldivers 2 has obviously popped off, great success, but now you're gonna see titles like Concord and Fair Game, and hopefully those games can be of quality as well. Again, I know I'm going to get crapped on in the comment section being like, you're always hating on everything PlayStation related, but guys, like, I grew up in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and those PlayStation Showcase events, those E3s that I remember, and I know a State of Play is not going to be like an E3, it's not like a Showcase, but even Showcase last year was terrible, and I gave Sony a lot of credit for their State of Play earlier this year, where I think they just executed the greatest promotion that a game could get and how they promoted Stellar Blade, and look at how that game did. But this lineup, it's just a lot of third-party stuff. God of War Ragnarok, I think, would be the highlight of all of this, and a lot of PlayStation people that are crazy are gonna be mad about that game getting announced, being like, it's only been a year and a half since it came out on PlayStation, why is it coming out on PC so quickly? But yeah, I just don't think this is going to be something that a lot of people get excited about. We'll see if this comes to fruition. This is coming from reliable Spanish leaker, Proximatid, so, you know, we'll see if it comes to fruition. But this looks like the kind of lineup that a mediocre State of Play would have. It's a mid-level State of Play. You know, it looks like pretty poor, if you ask me. It's another event where I feel like it's not that good, but State of Plays were never supposed to be amazing. It's just, it would be nice if we got like one surprise, one really cool announcement, and maybe we'll get that. Maybe God of War Ragnarok PC is that, but you know, this is just awfully mediocre to me, and I'm trying to like not be as down on it. Look, if Phantom Blade Zero, if we get this lineup, Phantom Blade Zero gets a release window announcement, huge W. If Silent Hill 2 Remake looks great, huge W. The new game from Middle East, like, we'll see what it is, and if that's, you know, gonna be put in the vaporware category for me, and you guys don't have to put it in the vaporware category, we'll see how that turns out, the new VR game, whatever, and we'll see how Concord looks, because this lineup could end up being really good. If the Astrobot game, I think, is going to look great, it's a smaller scale release, but that's fine. If you're excited for God of War Ragnarok on PC, that's another huge W. Phantom Blade Zero, if we get a release window for that, that is the only way, either a demo or release window. If that happens, then Phantom Blade Zero is a giant W here. But if it's just another gameplay trailer or a story trailer, absolute wash, like a worthless presentation at that point to include Phantom Blade Zero, because we got the gameplay trailer last year. And if Concord looks good, dudes, if Concord, like, that trailer last year was an abomination, but if it looks good this year, like, hey, more power to them, and hopefully that's a game that can capture some interest as a new IP and as a multiplayer title. Sony needs more multiplayer games. It's gonna be on PC as well, so maybe some of the crazies will be mad about that as well, but you know, there's potential if we're talking best case scenario for what I outlined. Astrobot, I think, is a W already. That's like the biggest W that I see outside of God of War Ragnarok. Phantom Blade Zero, if we get that release window, that's a W. And then Concord, if that looks good, I think that's going to be a W, and I think that would make the show passable. So, best case scenario, I think it could be a passable show and a decent show. But worst case, if it's like a Phantom Blade trailer that tells us nothing, waste of time. If Concord looks mediocre, that's bad, and everything else is a bunch of third-party stuff, and if you're mad about God of War Ragnarok, well, then just stay mad, I guess. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Could be good, could not be. Again, we'll see if this leak comes to fruition, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Try to be a little tame. I know I always, like, pop off and be pessimistic and all that. Like, yo, I laid it out for you guys. How, best case scenario, it could be okay. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Sound off down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.